Instagram. How are you guys are doing this evening? I hope everyone has a great, spectacular day on this very Tuesday. I'm going to go ahead and do this here interview with Mr. Rojes. So hopefully everybody could come through. Hey, big brother, how are you? How you doing this afternoon? I'm trying to request. Put in your request, Rojes. Hello, September Virgo 1. Rojes, send it. It's like a little plus. If you at the bottom of the screen, if you can see a plus, because I'm trying to add you now. Let me see if I could do it like this. Let me see. Okay. I'm trying to see because it said you have no requests right now, so I'm just gonna head. Let me see. Okay. I'm just waiting on Rojes. Okay. At the bottom, it should say arrow, like it's like a little arrow going towards upward, and then you see a question mark, and then it has like a person, an add-on, and then it says a camera. It's the camera with the plus. If you see it, it should say camera with the plus. Let me see. Okay, all right, go ahead. But yes, go ahead, and I'm gonna wait for you. I'm not gonna start. Hey, Summer Sweet, I'm not gonna start without you. I'm just waiting on everybody to come on in. Rojes. So yes, how you all doing, Summer Sweet? How are you doing, love? I am great. I cannot complain. Happy Tuesday. I think it's Taco Tuesday today. You know, I had enough shares in my taco. I don't even want no taco today. Okay, there we go. Yes, we go. Oh, Mr. Rojes Smith, known as the Collier Clan family, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, big brother. How you doing?
How you doing this evening? Sorry for the delay. I was on my laptop and the camera pop up, so I'm on my phone now and it's leaning on the laptop. How we doing this evening?
No worries. No worries. I mean, not gonna worry about that. It's just the devil trying. We gonna push that devil right on out of this way.
No doubt about me. You block one street, I'm gonna go up one way the other way.
Okay, now you ready to get started? Or you want everybody to come on in, or you want to speak to everybody?
I'm following your lead.
Okay.
Following your lead.
All right. Hey, Tiffany. I want to say hello to everybody who just dropped in. If you all don't know this beautiful young man, this is Rojes Smith, known as the Kaya Clan, everybody. So let me go ahead and answer my questions. I mean, we know you as the comedian. We know you as Michael Kaya's sidekick, you know. So what else do you do? You really are into comedy, right?
You know what? I'm really not entrenched in comedy. I'm just a humorous individual everywhere. You have a long backstory. I'm originally from New Orleans. I was born in the 7th Ward of New Orleans, raised by 2 Mexican parents and a Hispanic grandmother. I'm lying. No, little black kid.
Well, hey, we all got a Hispanic grandmother somewhere down that Gina line.
I'm originally from New Orleans. I spent 21 years in the military. Spent a little time after that working with the government. Spent about 4 years fully retired, and now I'm a program manager for another company. Been married yesterday, made 29 years.
Oh my goodness! Congratulations! Well, happy anniversary, should I say? Happy anniversary.
You should be telling my wife happy anniversary. She's the lucky one. I'm the one that have to deal with the headache. But
But it's okay because you know what? I'm about to get married next year, so maybe you could give me some good advice on that as well.
so you get
Um, yes,
good marriage advice, seriously, because marriage is work. It's really
yeah,
work. And some days you're gonna find yourself where you don't feel like you might be entrenched in love, which is okay as long as you're
okay,
each other, you always find your way back. So you have to be friends first. And more importantly, you're going to have arguments. That's natural. But don't fall into that trap where people have arguments and it's no
yeah,
longer an argument to reach resolution, it's an argument to outweigh the other. So whereas if I bring a problem to you and I say, well, Bonnie, this has been bothering me. I don't like when you do this. I don't like when you say that. Instead of you hearing me, you take that,
mm-hmm.
come back and say, well, I don't like your mama's mustache. That's not that, you know. Here,
Okay,
and it's important to always express it in how you feel. Like, don't accuse me. Don't come in and say,
right,
Rogers, you did this to me. Because I probably didn't do it intentionally or didn't know I do it. And to avoid me from getting defensive, you should always start by saying, babe, let me tell you how I felt, or what you said made me feel this way, or what you did made me feel this way. And that allows the person to open their mind and hear your side, and you can talk it through. Because any other way, you're going to argue the whole time through. And I don't
right.
so many sofas with arguments. I'm tired of it.
Did she call you an old buzzard? Because I know a couple of days ago, me and my fiance we had our little first argument over some stamps, and he was like, "Where's my stamps?" I'm like, "Oh, buzzard, I gave you some more stamps." But I mean,
Listen, when you've been married as long as I have, when my wife and I get in an argument, I don't even know how she know these things. She bring up stuff about what my mama did when she conceived me. She wasn't even there, but it's real low. You know, well,
right.
if your mama wasn't so fast, she wouldn't have had you on the first night. So that's a whole nother story. But but
Okay, I got you now. I got you. Okay,
but
now. Yes, I mean that's a good marriage advice because I've been looking for some advice, and even though I've been taking up some of my own for my first marriage, and I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna do that. I'm just gonna not bring it on. So him and I decide we're just gonna go ahead before we get married next year. We're gonna go ahead in February. I'll be in Cleveland, Ohio, so I could be able to go to his marriage council, which is his pastor.
okay.
So we're doing everything for baby steps first, and then September comes, and then we're gonna go ahead and jump the broom, over the broom, through the broom.
And I tell you, I wish you nothing but the best. And if you were in a previous marriage or a previous relationship, when you go into a new relationship, everybody say, okay, I'm not looking for this no more. I'm making sure I'm not looking for this type of guy, this type of woman. And the reality is, you can't control me that's walking into the room.
Right.
Instead of looking for a mate through that mate, look for a mate through yourself. Everything that did not work out in your previous relationship, you can't honestly speak to what he did, but you can sit
Mm-hmm.
back and elaborate and brainstorm on what Bonnie did or what Bonnie didn't do. So when you
Right.
go to a relationship, you have to remove all the hurt from the previous relationship and allow your heart to be fully open to give that person all, and to work on the things that in hindsight was not right from your end in the previous relationship, because nobody's perfect in a relationship. And if we work on ourselves, we will attract the person that is attracted to the positive part of us.
Well,
And for
thank you.
as far as marital,
Yeah.
don't take marital advice from nobody outside of counseling.
Okay. That's it.
And really, because sometimes you're going to get sincere advice and genuine advice, but remember, misery loves company. So
Yes.
you be asking a girlfriend for advice who's in an abusive relationship, and she can see the traits in your companion a mile away, and she will not bring,
Mm-hmm.
because misery loves company. So don't ask advice. Take advice through your eyes from what you see around, and that's how you build it up.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Because my family, like I said, he doesn't live in Chicago. He lives in Ohio. I'm in
Mhm.
Chicago. So my mom was like, this is the first thing she said to me a couple of days ago. She said, how you gonna marry somebody that I don't even know? I said, Mama, from my mistake, it's not about you, it's about me. And I had to realize, I'm like, yeah, my mother is true, but I said, he's gonna come around. I told her that's what, that's how I left it. He's gonna come around. She was like, he ain't asked me, could you get married? And I told her, I said, well, Mom, I said, he did a long time ago. You just ignored the question.
Right. True. But
So
in
my mom, she's a very interesting Aries.
well,
Very interesting.
and see, that's one of the things I love about my mother. My mother is my truest, my best friend, my best champion. She's my lifeline. I tell folks all the time, I've told this to my mother, who's a cancer survivor. I've told this to people I work with. I tell this to everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I know at some point one of us will no longer be in this space and time in the natural.
Right.
And
Right.
one thing that scares me, and it's only one thing, is waking up one morning and not being able to talk to my mother, who I talk to at least daily, not being able
Right.
to her. It scares me because I don't know who I'll be at that point. Everything I do, I have my mother in mind. I never want to embarrass my mother, bring shame to her. Um, my mother is a strong, beautiful black woman. She raised 4 kids by herself. My dad was a Rolling Stone. He didn't stay too far. He only came around when he was in between relationships. But I watched
Oh wow.
who's been working since 16 nonstop. Well, she's retired now. I watched her go to school at night. I used to sit in the classroom with her and her best friend Miss Sheila at night at college. She did departments,
Wow.
cleaners. She did grocery stores. But we never went without. And I've always said to folks, my mother worked too hard and was way too beautiful. So my requirement in a woman in my life is two things. Two things, and I got the rest. I'll take care of you forever, I promise you. One, always be
Mm-hmm.
a lady. Always be a lady, even when you're not. Because there are moments when you get upset and you got to step outside yourself. Always be a lady. And two, always look beautiful doing it. You got that? I got you covered.
I like that. You know what? And a lot of people say, like a young man, like I was saying on my Instagram, I put it on blast because this young man disrespected me. And
Mm-hmm.
I called my girlfriend, I was speaking to her, and he was just saying all kinds of craziness about me. I'm like, okay, I'll let that pass.
Mm-hmm.
And my girlfriend heard it and she said, oh my goodness. She said, mental illness is the worst.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I guess, I guess these young people, parents, and parenting is the number one key. And half of these parents is not even involved in their children's life.
Right. What?
I'm like this too. You spare the rod, you spoil the child, but you got to respect your elders.
Always. Always. Even to this day, I don't have profanity in front of my mother.
It slipped out half of the time with my mother, and she like, "Are you cussing?" And I told her, "No, I just said shoot."
I don't use profanity. As a kid, I used to get batting them out for calling my brothers liars. That's a bad word. Do that.
Yeah,
But the
yeah,
respect is gone because the generational gaps have shrunk. It's hard,
yeah.
and I get it. I feel bad for a lot of the younger kids growing up today because there are role
Mm,
models and examples out there, but they don't know where to look to see them. And it's really hard when you're in elementary school having problems and
yes,
is in high school having problems.
yes.
Hard. It's
That
hard
is so
to
true.
still growing up, and the families turn their backs on them so often, or you have parents that's consuming drugs and alcohol with the kids at the same time. There's no way you're gonna nurture a positive tax-paying, positive contributor to society. It's just not gonna happen. I have 3 kids: 27-year-old daughter, 25-year-old son, and a 19-year-old son. Um,
Mhm.
you know, they're the pride of my life, but The thing is, and I've always told this to my kids, I am not your friend. I'm dad. I'm dad first. Even on Facebook, Instagram, if my daughter likes a picture I post,
yes,
and she want to comment directly, you know, when you comment to a person, it'll pop up Bonnie Chambers looking good. My daughter knows when you pop up Rogers M. Smith, she needs to go in front of that and put dad. I'm dad.
right. And that's the only thing of disrespectful because you know she was like, okay, uh, okay, let me go ahead and rephrase that. That's my dad, you know. But I get that because daddy's little girl. I was a daddy's little girl before my dad was killed. I had two dads. I had one, my biological dad. Of course, he died when I was 1, and then I had my stepfather who took over when I was 5 years old, and he practically raised me. You know, did everything what a dad does. So he practically raised me until Chicago killers killed my dad. You know, and thank God, knock on wood, his misery of what's they call the mystery of murders was announced in 3 months after he was after his death.
Well, yeah.
So January the 9th, right? And come January the 9th of next year will be my dad's anniversary of his murders been found.
Wow. January 9th is my mother's birthday.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It's my mother.
Well, happy birthday, Mom. Happy birthday, Mom.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she ain't on here yet. She ain't popping up on.
No, she finds she jump on stuff late or hear about something late, and then she'll call me in the middle of the night.
Wow.
You know?
Now, have you ever thought about doing stand-up comedy? I mean, you are one amazing, funny guy. I mean, have you thought about it? Have you just said, one day I'm just going to go ahead and do stand-up?
I have thought about it. I've thought about acting and all that. And eventually I am going to do it. I am. Even through my military career, I was always the MC for everything in the military. Folks would call me and say, I need you to host this gala. And they would just look at me and I said, what's the rules? And they said, so they knew what that meant, you know.
Right. You know, so, you got to be a host of something. So, yeah.
Yeah, but the thing is, for me, what's funny to me is not, you don't have to be vulgar. You don't have to attack folks. You don't have to make fun of real world things that's happening to folks that's not positive. I just put a different spin on things. I talk about things a different way. You know, just like when I was on the show and I talked about making comments on my photos. That's something everybody can relate to. You know,
right.
You can paint your own picture because, quite honestly, I've had people comment on my photos and I was like, who is this? I don't know this name. You know, so I just sit around and I think about stuff. It's like, wonder, you know, if somebody's posting their spouse is like, who is this? I don't know. You know, but.
Right. But, you know, you get that because when I've seen, I'm like, I can't because I don't know what's wrong with my IG. I mean, when I add people, it's like, it says, oh, something is wrong. And I'm like, what could be wrong? Then I had to go on my other page, which is the real Bonnie C. And I'm like, got me scratching my head. I can add people on that one because I ain't been on that one in a minute. But when I come on here, it's like, okay, you know what? I'm doing my podcast. I'm doing all the interviews on here. I'm going to pop it off, you know, do this, do that. Maybe I could get all the followers back, but I can't get all my followers back on the other page because everybody like, I'm not about to add you on this one. You already got one. But because of what Instagram does, put everybody in jail. We can't say certain things on here. We can't do certain things, but you know, oh, Angel Incense Lady giving her love. I love you, Auntie Angel, the Incense Lady.
Hello, Angel. How you doing this evening? I posted a couple that she had some candles for me. I actually posted my phone number on the comments for, so DM me, or I'm Roger Smith on everything. You can find me.
Yes.
But yeah, so
And
no,
then when I, yes,
eventually,
and so when I, yeah, and it's like private. I was like, I can't comment. But now, of course, Nelly Baby shares it to me. I'm like, I can't.
so, now my photo last week, and I told her I was gonna cut her. The picture that she told me in the middle of the night, it was like one posted on the photo, and that's the stuff that gets you in trouble. She posted on my photo 1 a.m. I see you, Rogers, looking like a sexy rose. See? And then you're like, Nelly, baby, please. But
Oh Lord, we all love Nelly Baby. You know what I'm saying? We gotta love him, even though she's been through so much
yeah,
this year alone,
yeah. But she's
and I just put a fence around her. I put God's fence around her, make sure she's okay. Then she gave me a
oh yeah.
call last night and told me that her grandmother passed, her mother's mother. So we're going to say our prayers for Nelly Baby, even though she's going through it from the death of her daughter and now her grandmother passed away. It's like, wow, Nelly,
Yeah.
my heart goes out to her, regardless what happened, how crazy she can get. But my prayers goes out to Nelly Baby.
Yes.
Sing our prayers up.
She's still,
yes.
She's still a person walking around the natural with feelings,
Yeah.
Beyond that exterior pasta that she puts up, her facade, she's a person with feelings that goes through things.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
we all offer our prayers to Nelly and lift her up, and we're all here for her whenever she needs us.
Yes. Now, what kind of line of work you do? I don't like to ask that kind of question because I know it could be personal, but I would like to ask you, what kind of line of work do you do besides comedy and make people laugh?
Well, right now, I'm a program manager for a company that's all over the place. They got that swoosh.
Yes.
So,
yes.
I with nobody.
Like a note.
Yes, but yeah, I'm a program manager. So I go around the United States and Canada, and I oversee the construction of new facilities in different areas. Wow. So like in the Chicago area, I may have done like 8 of them. A little bit everywhere.
And I've been trying to get a job in program manager, but they said, I wasn't qualified enough. So I don't know.
It's all in timing. Quite naturally, it's all in timing. Like when I started doing it, they were looking for master degrees. But
yes.
Then I've noticed now that they're bringing folks in without master's degrees, and then there's a lot of folks that don't have degrees that's elevating to the position, but they're spending the time in the company in the trenches and working their way up to it.
Wow, because I know I don't have no college degree at all. I had to drop out of my freshman and sophomore year in college.
Okay. That's
I have some. I got some, but I don't have the masters. I don't have the associates. I don't have the PhD, but I have some.
You don't have the paper, but that don't mean you don't have the paper on the wall in the frame, but that doesn't mean that you don't have the knowledge. Because trust me, it's a lot of people with a wall full of degrees, and they should all have commitment papers committing them to a psych ward because they're crazy. They're crazy. They're not smart. They don't know what they're doing. They're just out here. But it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, jobs are out here, and I've seen some of that, like office management. I've seen office work that people like mail room, they hiring. I'm like, wow, but when I was looking for a job, it took the pandemic to smack somebody in the forehead and say, okay, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and hire this person. I'm going to go ahead and hire that person. But they never, they always have this persona that they want to misjudge people.
Oh, yes.
In this corporate world. Well, but it's okay because God bless me with a good job now.
But that's even when I'm at work, I'm straight faced. We're conducting business. This is big business.
Right.
Folks don't get to see the other facets of me. They don't get to see my true personality. They get to see me do this, move this. I'm not paying for that. That's what they get. Last week, 2 weeks ago, I was at one of my facilities and a guy pulled up that was making a delivery and he walked by me and he stopped. He turned around and he said, "Did I see you on the internet the other week joking with that was me?" So, you know, he started
Right.
conversation. So, okay, that's me. That's me outside of work. I said, let's stay focused. Stay focused here. But, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, have you gotten that a lot since you've been on the Michael Collier Morning Show? Like, oh, I know you, or they point you out and say,
Listen,
don't I know you? And then I'm like, you probably did. It all depends on where you see me at. I'll probably be on the internet. I'll probably be on this show. I'll probably be on that person's live. I'll probably be on that person's live. You probably do.
and
And they look at me and say, you look totally different on camera than you do in person. I told them, yeah, I mean, gray hair, screen, short, kind of
yeah,
stocky, you know.
but that's the thing.
What else can we say?
People know me, like I said, once again, when you spend so much time in the military and you had so many people work with you and you live so many different places, you know, I've lived in Germany, I lived in Hawaii, I lived in multiple states. So when you lived in all these different places, you've been in all these different places, people know you. And my family always says, it doesn't matter where we go, somebody knows my daddy. We were
Yeah.
we were in Jamaica, Bahamas one summer, and I was walking down the beach. And you know, I would always joke, just say, you know, I'm getting Speedo ready. When it's time for the summertime and I'm going to an island somewhere, I tell them I get Speedo ready because all I'm wearing is a Speedo, baby oil, and a that's all I'm wearing. So I'm walking in the Bahamas, I think, maybe Jamaica. Well, I'm walking the beach, and you know how you see somebody looking at you like this person finna say something to me? This
Yeah.
guy is walking towards me, and I'm oblivious, and my kids like, oh, here it goes. This guy comes, Minute, what's going on, man? What are you doing here? So it doesn't matter where I'm at. Somebody knows me. They recognize me. They talk to me. I go home. If I'm walking down Canal Street, if I'm on Bourbon Street, people blow their horns. They know me from different places. They know me from doing different things because I've always been a clown. And even from high school, I did James Brown in class night. I did Men on Film from In Living Color. You know,
Right.
I've done a little bit of, you know, I've done a lot of something in scene.
Yeah. Yes. I wanted to say hi, everybody who just popped in. Wild Hair. I see Wild Hair. I see Darian. I see J Balls. I see Joe. I wanted to say hello, everybody who just popped in. This is Mr. Rojas, as my big brothers are. If you all been on the Collier Clan, I say hey to my big brother Rojas. This is Rojas, ladies and gentlemen. But yes, and wow, I mean, because when I walk up, I'm just trying to be disguised because you don't. This is Chicago. They go crazy. They cray cray, like Lely, but not like that. But they cray cray. But when I say if I have 1,000 things on my mind, and I do apologize publicly if I didn't see you all or if I didn't recognize anyone, I do apologize. I probably got 25,000 things going on in my mind, you know, for me to just say, okay, you know what, let me stop for a moment and let me speak to everybody. But, you know, like I said, this is Chicago, so we have to keep it moving, you know, because we don't know who could be after.
Yeah,
You know, but anyway, yes.
So,
Now, how, you know, I ask this question a lot. How does this pandemic, I know it affected a lot of people, a lot of our closest friends, family members, you know, our superstar friends, it hit us home. But how did this here pandemic affect you?
me directly, not never missed a beat. I said I travel over 300,000 miles a year in the airplane. But unknown fact about me, before the pandemic, I've always traveled with a mask. I've always traveled with gloves because the reality of it is people are nasty. So
Yeah.
when I'm on it and you're sitting across from me and you start coughing and sneezing, a lot of people say I'm rude, but I get up and I get my mask and I put my mask on. This was way before the pandemic, you know.
Oh, so you did a Michael Jackson move.
Oh yeah, always. Always. I've always been a germaphobe. It's just my family say I'm bougie. Say what you want. I'm not getting what you got.
Right, right.
So I've had family members that had the virus. I've had cousins that had it. My brother, he had it earlier, about when it first hit. I was so I flew down to Dallas and I spent 2 weeks with him in a hotel. Put him in a hotel across the hall for me to make sure he was good. And my sister, who fully vaccinated and has the booster, I just talked to her every day this week, but Sunday, a Monday, but she called me and she said that she had the virus, but she didn't have a fever, anything of that nature, just because she had all the inoculation, so her system is boosted some.
Right, and you know what? I had the rhinovirus. That's like the first stages of the coronavirus. I had the rhinovirus. It was like it happened so fast. My mother had it. She got it from me. I caught it from a parent that my daughter goes boxing, and me and her passing it to each other. I got sick. She got sick. I was like, oh my goodness, we thinking it's the flu shot. So I called matter of fact, I called her John John. I said, John John, something's going on. I can't breathe. I can't sing. I can't do nothing. I could barely eat. Go get some tea. Go get some hot cocoa. Get anything that is hot.
Right.
Get you some lemon. Get you some apple cider vinegar. Mix it all in, because we're not going to play with this virus.
Yeah.
I'm like, what virus? You say you ain't heard about the virus? I'm like, what's virus? I don't own no TV. At the time, I did not own no TV. I didn't own no radio. I'm like, what virus is y'all talking about? That's when I got me a TV.
Of course.
I told he was like, you need to get you a TV. I got me a TV that same month in February.
And you said you called John John.
I called John John.
John and I hung out a couple weeks ago in Anaheim and had a blast with the Delphonics. Oh, we had a blast. Wonderful time. I told the Delphonics that I needed to join the group. So they asked me, they said, oh, can you sing? I said, I can hit a note here or there. I said, but I can slide out like the best of them. So, and I so we had a good old time. But John is wonderful.
Yes, because that's Aaliyah's godfather. That's Aaliyah's godfather. So
he's been pushing me even before now. Said, man, you need to get on the stage, because when we was doing the mural tour in LA, he was beside me just dying. He was like, you have to get up on a stage. So Michael actually been asking me, when am I going to open for him? So, we're always talking about something. You never know what's going to happen. You ought to come see us for the New Year's show at Culture, because I will be with him. I will be there.
Wait a minute. He coming to Homewood, Illinois, right?
Yes, he's going to be at the Culture Restaurant and Lounge in Homewood. I believe it's 4 shows on New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. But we're both getting there, I think, on Wednesday or Thursday. We're arriving to the city and leaving out on Monday or Tuesday.
Well, I'm going to need a rag to get to Homewood, because I ain't got no car. I ain't got 3 things to match. I got no skates. I don't have no car, no keys. Only thing I got is a bus car with no bus fare on it.
So here's what we'll do. So you're going to have, I'll shoot you my phone number and all that good stuff. Because
yes, please do.
I'll be staying downtown, and it's no problem.
Downtown in Chicago?
Yeah, I always stay. When I'm in Chicago, I normally stay at the London House, right on the river.
I know exactly what London House is. That's what me and my girls are going for the meet and greet at, because it's a restaurant next to it. So
yes. Ocean Prime, we talking?
Yes.
So I spend a lot of time at the London House and up on the top 3 floors up there. Or I'm down at the Waldorf Astoria down the street. So I'm always, whenever I'm in Chicago, it doesn't matter if I'm working in Homewood, Rosemont, it doesn't matter. I stay downtown Chicago, just because, as you know, in Chicago, you pass the baseball stadium, anything can change on a drop of a dime. Which I,
Exactly.
which
And we're not talking about north side, cuz we talking about the south side
come about where I
white side.
get my beard lined up at, where I go get cakes from, where I go get jerk chicken, where I entrench myself at. Yes, that's what we're talking about.
And how much are the tickets? Because I could probably um cash out you my ticket money and get my ticket
I can't remember.
for Friday.
Don't make me lie, but I'll look. I'll let you know.
Okay, and Summer Sweet said, what time you gonna be there, Rose? I'm coming.
Oh, I'm listen. When I'm traveling with Michael, I'm there the whole time.
Oh, you said $100 Summer Sweet?
No, no, it's not that much for the tickets. No.
I was listening to with Summer Sweet. She said 50. I said, oh, it's $100 because
Oh,
it's on the Cash App. Because you know, with Cash App, you put money in your Cash App, you know, it's gonna be like $100 something. But yeah,
yeah,
I'll shoot you the $50 for me.
yeah, it's not
And
that
I
much.
just do like I did this morning because I felt good, sending Uncle Mike $5 for the toy drive this morning. It felt so good.
Yeah, and and he was really appreciative. He and I talked maybe about 3 hours ago. We were on the phone chit chatting, and we was talking about toy drive stuff. So he's always appreciative when people do and give to the causes that he's trying to support, and
Yeah,
just
like what was that? Last Monday, he said, make sure y'all see a homeless person. Make sure y'all give them $3. Let me tell you what I did. I gave this lady $5 plus a brand new pair of gloves.
mm,
And I'll never do that. I never do that.
I give homeless people all the time, and a lot of time I buy them food. Like when I'm in
Mm-hmm.
Chicago, one of my favorite restaurants is Joe's because they have like the best fried chicken, I think.
Uncle Joe.
And I always get an extra meal. So when I leave, when I'm in the car, I'll see somebody on the corner, I'll stop and I'll hand them the food. Or
Yeah.
like when I'm in Miami, folks always asking for money to get something to eat. I had one guy outside of McDonald's, which I rarely go to McDonald's. I just wanted some fries. He said he was really hungry and needed some money. I said, well, let's go get you something to eat. He said they wouldn't let him in the McDonald's. So I said, if you're a buying customer, they will. So I took him to McDonald's and bought him a meal and sat there with him and had my meal with him. Just so
No.
enjoy his meal. So I'm always giving. I gave one guy in Seattle one day. I really felt bad for him. I don't know what it was. It was something pulled at me, and I only had a 50, so I handed him the 50. And
Wow.
my wife and I, we went into Chick-fil-A, and when I came out, the guy was just so ecstatic. It was like that scene on Trading Places when Eddie Murphy gave them the lot of money.
Yes.
Trading Place coming to America,
Yes.
a lot of money. They're like, hey, thank you so very much. Let's get together. When I came out of Chick-fil-A, that's how the guy literally was. So we got to come. My wife said, what did you give him? I said, I don't know. I just had a little change in my pocket. I just gave it to him.
Right. And this young lady, hey, be blessed. I seen her and I told her, I said, baby, what happened? She said, I missed my shelter, the time of the shelter. Her hands, this was the day after Thanksgiving. Her hands was bleeding, was turning purple. It was super cold out here. This was just last week. When it was snowing in Chicago, I cried with this lady. I was like, ma'am, I don't normally do this to nobody, but when I saw you, my heart dropped.
Right.
And she, my age, I seen her and I was like, oh my God, 45, 44? Jesus. And I asked, I said, baby, what happened to you? She said, life.
Life. Yeah. Life happens.
And I told her, I said, you can get back on your feet if you really want to. You can get back on your feet. You don't have
Mm-hmm.
to live on this street. You're beautiful. You're too young.
Mm-hmm.
And it literally put tears in my eyes. And I said, you don't have no gloves? And she just wrapped up on a blanket over there on 53rd and Hyde Park. And my heart felt for her.
Mm-hmm.
And when I gave her that $5, my mom was like, what did you give that lady? I told her $5. I told her, don't worry, mama. She in need right now.
Right.
Then the man came behind me, gave her $5. Another lady walked past her with kids.
Mm-hmm.
And there was another lady that walked up again when I gave her a brand new pair of gloves. I just went to the Dollar Tree. And
Mm-hmm.
I said, hopefully I can find it at Family Dollar or the Dollar Tree, whatever we go. And my mom was like, what happened to her? I told her I cried. And that's the first time my mother ever seen me cry in years. Her hands, until this day, I'm still rubbing my hands because every time I think of her, I'm rubbing my hands because her hands was bleeding. They were cracked. They were purple, returning. She had frostbitten. I told her, I said, you got on shoes? She said, yes, I got on shoes. I said, you got on socks? She said, yes, I got on clothes. And she was just wrapped up in a blanket. And I bought her some gloves.
Yeah.
And I told her, I said, don't even worry about it. I took the tag off, gave it
And that's
to
the thing.
her.
Life happens. And these are good people that life happens. It is. Life happens. Like my wife and I, we used to go to a restaurant. We used to go to Gladys Nice Chicken and Waffles on P Street in Atlanta a lot. And whenever we would drive into Atlanta or fly into Atlanta, when we drove up to the restaurant, I met this guy on one visit, and he was there every time we went, no matter if it was 6 months later. Black guy, he had
Mm-hmm.
the nicest teeth, but he had a drug problem. And
Mm.
he was on the streets, and he owned it. He acknowledged it. So he saw me pull up one day, and he came to me, though, real well spoken. He said, the restaurant good. He said, but back here you got all these drug addicts, and he pointed them all out. He said, that's
Mm.
over there. He said, they known for robbing people, vehicles and whatnot. He said, I'll watch your car for you. I said, will you? He said, yeah. I was like, how much you want? He said, just give me something. I'll watch your car, sir. So I said, I'll do you one better. I gave him $20 up front. I said, here's the money. I said, so when I come out, you're going to be back, right? You're going to be. He said, I'm going to be here. We were staying an hour and a half. I came out. He was right there at my car watching it. And it's funny, whenever I go to Gladys, before they close, I would go there. When I got out the
Mm-hmm.
car, he would recognize me. And I don't know where he would come from, but he would come over and he would speak every time. And he'd say, I got you. I got you. And he would watch my car. And he would let me know if something happened, I'm going to fight for your car and I'm going to come in a restaurant and get you. But, and some people say, well, why would you give him money? He has a problem. Because he has a problem. That's why. Because here's the reality. If a person has a substance abuse problem,
Mm-hmm.
and handling, they do it. The $5, the $20, the $10 that you willingly give them just save somebody from getting hit in the head and their purse snatched
Yeah,
from them. Because they're going to
exactly.
get, and at the same
Yeah.
time, hoping you instill in hope and positivity in these people that there's a chance and there's still good people in the world. Um, because a lot of people, they failed to plan. TD Jake said this weekend, I was listening to his podcast, and he said something that just stayed with me. He said he was talking about when he was growing up, how his mother taught him how to shuck peas and grow vegetables, and he was talking about how he make biscuits from scratch, and he does this, he does that. And he said, most folks nowadays, we just go to Kroger and get what we need. That's one of the stores there. He said, but my mother prepared me based off of her and my father's experience. They were preparing me for failure. He said, and that's what's happening too much in society. We all plan for the worst case scenario, but we never
Mm-hmm.
success. He says, so we need to start planning for success to manifest that, to make that happen. Because when you planning for failure, you put it,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what,
Exactly.
so you plan for success. So a lot of those folks, they planned for failure, and that's what happened. But I wish them all well. A lot of them gonna recoup and have a second chance at.
Yeah. This gonna make me want to do a bakery for for the homeless people. Like when I do my clothing line, this is one of the purpose when I do my clothing line, and I already got it up as you see, as Michael Kyer do has it. A few other people may have it, but when I do my clothing line, I give back to the homeless people. Give back because I'm not only building for myself, but I'm also giving, giving something back to the homeless people,
Right.
like to the homeless shelter. I donate $5, maybe $10 at the most, to the homeless shelter out here in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
But since my clothing line, no one doesn't buy my clothing line, they think, oh, you supported somebody else's business. No, the Lasagna belongs to me.
Mm-hmm.
So what can I say? If you don't support, it doesn't go to
Yeah.
me.
And and I forgot that you had. I remember seeing the sweatshirt, the hoodie for your line. So
Yes.
I definitely need to get I need to get one. What's the cost? I can't remember.
Okay, $65 for the joggers, the hoodies like this here. This is my partner. He does mine and his the printouts for the shirts and the hoodies.
Okay.
The jogger suits are $85. I have the hoodies that is 65, and I have jogger suits are 85.
Okay. I'm gonna have to
And I shoot you. Matter of fact, I DM you. I have 8 designs already, so I made 8 designs.
shoot it to me so I can pick one because my size is extra sexy.
An extra large.
Extra large.
Okay.
That's right. Because I definitely need, I try to support everybody that have something going.
I know, but yeah, I will let you know. Matter of fact, I do it tonight before I go to bed and before I send the grandbabies to the bed because they mom and dad had to work. So my daughter and my oldest son, he came back from college. Yay! Mommy's so happy.
Okay.
What a relief stress. Yeah, so and plus, half of that, what everybody that wants to and get involved with my clothing line, please DM me. The Lasagna clothing line is now up. It's been up since September the 1st. They're actually date for it to come out to be printed out because it's been copyrighted already, so you can't take it away from me.
Yep.
So but the clothing line, Lasagna hoodies, 65. Joggers is 85. I have now 8 designs that I have. I have a music note. I have 2 music notes now.
Okay. Okay.
So, and only the colors we have now is black, blue, gray, and white. Those are the 4 colors that we have, but the designs is on your own color. So whatever color you want your design to be, that's what we'll do.
Okay. Perfect.
And shout out to One Shot King because that is my partner, my business and partner crime.
Perfect. Perfect.
Yeah.
I had on Rosa Mae's nephew T-shirt yesterday, and a guy asked me what did it stand for. His T-shirt, "Save but not soft."
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so I bought.
And I told Auntie Rosie now she's gonna get me one too. So
Well,
I'm not trying to get no whooping with the stitcher cord.
No, that
I did tell Auntie Rosamond that I will, cash out her whatever the cost to be. I don't mind supporting. Not only, as you all know, I support everybody that haven't, bought the hoodies or anything. It was like, oh, okay, I like that. Okay, I see what you're doing. But little everybody forgotten, it's mine. It belongs to Body Chambers.
Yeah, but you know what? We're gonna make sure folks remember about it. I'm gonna make sure that that's put back out in the forefront. Oh, and make
Yes.
oh,
Yes.
oh, because I recall and I thought it was very nice when I saw it. I said, well, I gotta get that, and I don't know why I didn't do it that day. Something distracted me, and I meant to do it that day, but I'm not gonna mess up this time.
Okay, because you know what? It was crazy that whole day. Do you know that after I came on the Michael Collier Morning Show, I was all good. I was smiling. I was cheesing. I was happy. This person, individual, 6'4", 5, 6, whatever he is, could be at 238 pounds, probably 350 at the most, walked up behind me, trying to take my wallet, trying to snatch my purse. The only thing this fool got was my driver's license. So I was in the midst of being, I am at a robbery. I was a mighty robbed me. I forgot what you call it, but yeah, the older man, he was about good 56, 57 years old, literally robbed me. And it's sad. That same day, I was like,
And
oh that's when, when I always say, don't let nobody take your jewelry away. Don't let your, character come out of place. This person, I forget everything that I said, everything that I put up. I said, you touch me.
Yeah.
What did I do to you? You put your hands on me. Did you not put your hands on me? And I'm like, you trying to rob me? You trying to take my purse from me? Who are you?
Yeah. Yeah. See that?
Well, I kicked you, but look, I told her I was about to throw my purse behind the counter. I told her I said I would jump the roof over you. And I was trying to find something just to throw it at him. And I couldn't find nothing. I said, you know what, this is just God. I said, you lucky that I didn't have a gun, a taser, or pepper spray, because you would have had it all three.
Yeah, and that's real unreal. That's one thing I always tell folks.
Yeah.
I work hard for whatever I may have or may not have, and you're not just going to come take it from me. It doesn't work that way,
Exactly. And then the purse cost me $258.
Yeah, and
I got it.
No,
and I got it for free.
But I remind all the time, I'm from New Orleans. On our books, in the law, if you come up and you try to carjack me, or you come and you try to rob me, and I perceive imminent danger, I can lay you down.
Well, let the church say amen. I wish I could lay somebody down, but I can't lay nobody down because, first of all, I don't know how to FICD card. And besides, I don't have a police officer on my side right now because they all against us.
Yeah, that's the thing, you never want to go there with anybody, but at the same time, it's like, you really have to be fearful and concerned that if a person is that brazen and bold, they're just going to walk up to you and try to snatch your stuff from you off your person. You don't know to what extent that person will carry that out to get what he or she wants from you. So you have to go and said that I got to defend mine.
Exactly. And the lady, it was like this lady just stood there. Look, I said, you going to stand there and you're the manager? What kind of manager are you? I'm not supposed to fix my job because I said, this is inside. If it was you and if it was me, none of this. I said, you know what, that's okay. Because Channel 9 did find out. Channel 2 News did find out. Channel 7 did find out because I called it all. I called 7, 9, 2, 32. You name it. You name it. And I put a report in against the CPD.
Yeah.
I got 2 reports against Chicago Police Department. And I wish I would try to do anything. Because you know what? I will call up your supervisor, I will call up your lieutenant, and I do have Mayor Lightfoot number, so try it if you want to. Try it if you want to. Period. Because I'm gonna give Miss Lightfoot a call. And I still got her card in my purse today.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. When my daughter, and if they don't believe me, they can go scroll down on my Instagram and they will see me, my daughter, and Mayor Lightfoot. Yes. And we was at her boxing practice, even though she didn't retire yet, and thank God she ain't retired, but she just took some time off because she been doing it since she was 5 years old, and now she's a basketball player, a track star, and she also doing volleyball in high school. And they love her. The kids are scared of her. I said, don't. She's like, I ain't about to get involved. That's their thing. She'll walk off. But that's how kids are.
Yeah.
Yeah. She said, I don't get involved with that craziness because she doesn't know what these kids may carry, even though they have a metal detection at her school, but still, kids always go to homes, go to houses. They don't live far from the school. So it's like, Mom, I just stay out the way. I just say, hey, hello. When they see her, they step out the way.
Mm-hmm. But it's horrible, especially now, the way society tries to condition our kids. Even with I get it, the metal detectors in the school is for their safety, but if they do a better job with community policing in our neighborhoods, it won't even get to the school. You know.
And did you know they took the police out the CPS school?
Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. You know, so you would think.
And it's sad.
And no, and so what you're doing is you're preconditioning, you're programming our kids to say this is normal. These are the things we go through, and that's not the case. You know, but it's in the community. But like it's even when I'm in Chicago. Like last month, yeah, last month I must have spent almost a month in Chicago. And
Mm.
I go to the south side of Chicago if I'm going to get food or whatever. And when I'm driving back at night, you can literally drive down the dark streets. You see all the activity, and you see
Right.
like a drive-through. And I'm like, you can't tell me CPD is not aware of this. But it's like, it's okay. Do it. Do it. Do it. It's just,
CPT, they don't care no more. After what Mayor Lightfoot said about their the persona of the vaccination shots, it's time for everybody to get vaccinated, because what happens if you come across a criminal who never been vaccinated, but the police officer are vaccinated, but this person ain't vaccinated, and it cough or carrier or germs, you know, they want, I ain't take no shot. I think you should, to save your family, to save yourself, and save yourself from others.
You know,
I want to think that.
no.
And it's crazy.
And I'm all for
It's just a one little shot, unless they scared of needles since they were babies. They probably had them.
I'm all for the shots. And, you know, I respect people's decision to say they don't want it. Once again, I spent 21 years in the military. I've had every inoculation you can name. I've had anthrax shots. I've had every shot. And this hoopla about we don't know what's in it. They move too fast. And then like folks was talking to her about, you know, they've been planning this. It's a pandemic because the vaccination is already patented. They already have a patent for it. Any vaccination they come up with for a disease, they have to patent it. That's the way it goes.
Exactly.
But
exactly.
I've asked folks before, like, you worried about what's in the shot, but you did drugs for 10 years? Did you run that joint? Did you dissect that crack to see what was lined in that? You know.
Did you dissect the cigarette?
You know what I mean?
Don't let me go there. Don't let us go there, y'all. Because we are telling it like you
know, the ink
right.
from the tattoos. Do you know what's in these things? To the women that's taking birth control in those IUDs or whatever they call them that they insert you. Did you tear that apart before you let them insert that in you? Do you know what's in you? You know what I mean? We've been taking stuff forever. You know,
ever, right. What about the aspirin and the ibuprofen that the doctors prescribe for us? What about the antibiotics? What's in the antibiotics?
Thank you. Look, you can peel that back. What about what's in doggone bologna? What's
we could even do one better. What about the ham? Y'all like hag moms, hog moms, pinto beans?
You know what I learned this year? You know the Halloween candy, the candy cones? The candy cones? Which but I actually looked at them and researched all of it. You know, that's bone.
Yes. What kind of bone is it? What kind of bone is it? Is it hog bone? Is it chitlins?
I don't know. That's in there. I'm like, what?
Is it dog bone? Because you know we eat what's that? Chicken, orange chicken. What's in the orange chicken? We don't see no animals in no Chinatown.
Well, that's just like a chicken nugget. You can't tell me what the hell is a nugget? Where it come from?
Where the chicken come from? Where that chicken came from? I want to see that chicken where y'all cut it up at.
Place that provides those chicken wings at churches that be this big.
Was that a part of a duck or was it a real chicken?
Exactly.
Or was it a hen?
But that's why you have 8-year-old girls with 36 double D chests because of all the steroids and antibiotics they're injecting in the food.
Exactly. Like the chitlins, the hog maw, the greens, the cabbages. Because you know when they sprinkle, what is that they sprinkle on? It's not water. What kind of chemicals is it?
Exactly. So the reality is, if you're not growing it and developing it in your own home from the own stuff that you created, you don't know what you have. And if you adding an additive from it to it that you purchased, you don't know what you just put in it.
I want to see this farm.
So
we always seen that. Oh, McDonald had a farm. Where's McDonald's farm at?
exactly,
It ain't McDonald's restaurant. So where's the farm at?
I heard somebody say earlier today, said, you worried about what's in the vaccination? So now all of a sudden you worry about what you put in your body? And she was like, yeah, girl, I'm all concerned. I don't just put anything in my body. So she looked at it and said, I saw the guys you used to date. Don't act like you're concerned about what goes in.
Exactly. I saw with my own two eyes, girl. Don't you know he was dealing with Kiki and Keisha over there hanging around with his best friend, and Kiki over there hanging around with his cousin. So hey, what can we say?
But that's the thing, you have the right. You have a right to be free. You have the right to make your decision, and I respect that. And we're not always going to agree on a line, but just because you don't agree with something and that's your right, I think it's reckless when you talk negative against that something. It is unfair. Just have your peace and keep it moving.
Exactly.
I was telling somebody about me living in Europe, the thing that we appreciate the most in America and we take advantage of is civil liberties. We have civil liberties, which is wonderful. That protects us in so many ways. I was on the Strassenbahn, which is the train, and the fare was only $1. And I always paid my dollar when I was riding the train. This particular day, I'm on the train, I'm in my uniform. In the Polizei, the police comes on, and they're doing ticket search. 3 rows up, they go to this guy. Ticket. He had no ticket. Ticket. He had no ticket. They asked me again, ticket. He said something smart. He went in his jacket, pulled out his baton, extended it, and commenced to beat that guy for about 5 minutes to a pulp on the train behind $1 ticket. Civil liberties protect us from that. But I recognized I was not in America when that happened. So I'm 3 rows back like this, everybody. I could not find my ticket. I called my wife on the phone. I said, babe. She said, hey. I said, the police are on here whipping people behind the ticket. I can't find my ticket. So I'm searching. Luckily, I found my ticket. So when they walked to me for the ticket, they said, ticket. I said, but that's a true story.
Wow. Okay, you gotta have your ticket on point. Because you don't have your ticket, they're gonna beat you like a human slave.
But see, in America, we have civil liberties that protect us from that. And thank God we have those that protect us from that. But I don't want to say abuse, but we want to walk that line to where this is my right. This is my right. This is my right. I can do this. I can do that. And I support that 100%. I take full advantage of rights. But if you really want to stand on those rights, you need to be doing everything else that's right. You should be paying your taxes. You should be abiding by this. You should be adhering to this. If you're not living right over here, don't tell me about your civil liberties over here.
Exactly.
And
and yeah, because that's one thing I told my girlfriend. I said, I gotta file the income tax where I have my own personal line of business. She said, girl, you ain't making no money. I said, I only made and I told her how much the amount. I said, I only made $130. She said, $130, girl. What's that? Pin money.
It's required to be filed with the IRS. That's what that is.
Right. And that's what I told her. I gotta file the what's that, the W-2 form. It's another form I gotta file.
Oh yeah, the 1099, but you show it as a loss. But the thing is, you have opportunity to show it as a loss, or you just don't file it at all, and it's really going to be a loss because now you're going to pay penalties for not filing on that loss.
That's right. And she said, "You got your receipt book?" I said, "I know who all paid for it. I know the names. I know who, who did what." I told her, I said, "I got it." She said, "You need to get a receipt book." I said, "That's not no problem with me. I can go to Amazon like this and get a receipt book."
But she's spot on. You need a receipt book for anything that you issue out payment. You write out a receipt and you just keep it right there in that book in case the IRS ever come back. They want to see receipts. You got a receipt book.
Right. Exactly. So that's what I did, and that's what I told her. I said, "Yeah, this is the receipt book." And she said, "Girl," she said, "I don't know how you do it." I said, "What?" I said, I gotta file two separate accounts.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta get the W-2 form for my job, and then I'm gonna file that on just that TurboTax,
Mm-hmm.
and then I gotta do another one for the 1094.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
either way it goes, I'm still gonna pay off my taxes, even though it wasn't much that I made, but I have somebody to do it for me.
Hey, look, taxes you got to take care of. Debt and taxes are there. So, and if
Yes.
you don't pay your taxes, you can expedite your debt. Pay your taxes.
I ain't trying to do all that because I need all the pennies and the kitties and all that other good stuff. Because besides, I'm getting ready for my marriage next year, so I got to get that ready. Get ready for the wedding and everything. So it's already set. The date is set. So I just gotta start paying out the debt.
Have you announced the date yet?
Yes, I did. September the 24th, 2022.
Okay, pretty close. My birthday, September 18th. So September's
I
pretty good.
know. I was trying to push it that day. He said, "Nah, let's push it a little bit further." Because we was going to do it August the 24th. But he was like, "Nah, let's do it. Let's make it official, September the 24th. I'm like, "Okay, September 24th. There it is." I already got my wedding dress. I got my wedding dress already. I'm waiting for it to come to me. It's already been shipped out from Amazon and Wish. So,
Okay. All
and
right.
I got my tiara. I have my veil. I have my the skirts to go with my dress, and I just got me a wedding planner book.
Oh, well, listen here. Once you set up your
And let me
registry,
give me 1 second. Let me show you. Let me show you, big girl. Let me show you. I'm so excited about this. So the proof, everybody, is my wedding is not a fake. Here it is.
Friday. So
Got it.
I'm gonna
This
need.
is not a fake.
I'm gonna
And
need.
no, we're not doing a fake wedding.
I'm gonna need the registry whenever you set that up. I'm gonna need the invite because I love going to weddings. I'm going to one of my contractors' wedding next month in Atlanta. He mentioned it to me, and I was like, "Yeah, I'll come." I had another coworker. I went to her wedding in California. I love weddings. I love what it might have something to do with the cake, but I enjoy weddings.
We probably did have a little bit of the cake, the cookies, the cupcakes, you name it.
I love weddings. Send me an invite. I will be there.
I sure will. You, Uncle Mike is gonna be there. Kevin Tate will be there. I'm trying to get some other people to be there, but my family, I already told them it'd be like 15 of them.
Yep, I will be there. I enjoy putting on clothes, getting dressed up, so I will be there.
Yes, yes. So I will let you all know what we need. So we'll have everything together by April, so I can be able to ship all my invitations out. My girlfriends, they're gonna help me with that. I have one chief maid. I got two maid of honors, and I have one, two, three. Yeah, three junior bridesmaids. So there we have it. And guess who? Well, I can't tell you the special. Guess who's gonna walk me down the aisle?
Okay, yeah, I'll wait and see. I wait. I figured.
I know.
I think
Yes.
if I ever get married again, it's gonna be a big old celebration because see what's gonna happen is, and I say that because unfortunately my wife is gonna die before me, and she hasn't come to that real yet. But I'll live her. It just depends on when she go. If I want to.
Hello, Auntie Rosa May. There go Auntie Rosa May.
Hey, Rose, I had
Yeah.
on your t-shirt yesterday.
Yes, indeed. But yeah, once again, since Auntie Rosemary did come on, I got the wedding planner book, Auntie. I'm so happy for this. I'm doing it once again. So, but yeah, you are invited. Auntie Rosa May is invited. Uncle Mike is invited. Auntie Kelly is invited. And like I said, I'm only inviting 15 people of my family. So there we have it. And plus, like my uncles on my mother's side, my
Hmm.
father's brother. It's only one uncle in my mother's side of the family. And they always like, you chipped us on your first marriage. I had to do one of these numbers. Well, when I get married again, I promise you all, everybody is invited.
But
There we have
wedding ceremonies are like prayers. You don't want everybody
it.
praying for you.
Yeah, because everybody ain't gonna pray the same prayer.
And so you don't want everybody at your sacred, momentous occasion because, everybody won't be sending up those powerful and positive blessings and well wishes. You know,
Exactly. That's why I said it'd be 15 people coming to my
yeah.
in my family, only 15.
Hmm.
So I already counted them off, and if they don't come, they don't come. I
Yeah.
don't pull. You know what? I stopped begging people a long time ago, especially in my family. Like, oh, if you're gonna come, can you please come? Can you please show up? If you don't show up, you don't show up. I had to learn that the hard way. Like, nobody is not going to be happy for you.
No, no, no,
And I
no.
learned
So you got
that
to
in my
find, you have to find your own happiness. Even the ones that's smiling, you don't see the grimace behind that smile. The folks that are truly happy for you or for me, I'm very appreciative of them. Um, but your validation, your happiness for me does not motivate nor deter me whatsoever because I'm so focused on my vision and my mission in life. Half the time, I don't even see if you're smiling at me or not because
Mhm.
that's it's really not my focus. You know,
Exactly.
so
Exactly. But it's and this is what I tell my mom is teach one to each one.
hmm
You teach people how to love, but can they have that same love for that one person?
hmm
Mom always tell me, stop counting your hatches before your eggs lay. And I'm like, I'm not counting my hatches. We and him been talking every day. I text him, I talk to him, he calls me, I text him, I call him, we do a lot together and everything. So when I told my mom I was getting married, she was like, to who? Flat out, to who? And I told her, I said, I'm not going to say his name because he doesn't want anybody to know his name. But when I told her, I said, do you remember when I went out of town? When we came back from Florida, remember I went back out of town and I met this young man. He took me to my event and I fell in love with him. And it was like love at first sight. What
hmm
can I say? It was a Cinderella story.
right.
So, you know, and when I told her what it was going to be about, I even told her I'm going to get married in her favorite colors, which is purple.
Right.
So when y'all see me the purple and the blue, that's my signature. That's my colors, purple and blue. So I'm really loving it. Yeah, I got on purple and blue.
But you know what? And I understand what your mom's saying, but this is what I say counter to that. Because once again, TD Jake said this Saturday night as well. And once again, it made so much sense to me. Yesterday, you've already lived yesterday. Today, you are living today, right now. It's next
Mm-hmm.
that you need to be preparing for.
Exactly.
What you're doing is you're preparing for the future because you're living in the present. The past is gone. You are currently living in the present. So
And
whatever you prepared for in the past, that's what you're manifesting now. So you need to be preparing for your future, and that's what you're doing.
Yes, I am. I am. And I'm living it. I'm loving it. You know, I'm taking day by day. You know, I'm not rushing into it. Like I said, I already got my dress. I knew exactly what my dress. It took me 8 months, literally, like 8 months. This is August. When I was, you know, when me and him was talking, I'm like, okay, how you doing? And he proposed to me on my birthday. Had his sister. Let me tell you something. He literally had his sister, not his sister, his cousin rather, his best right hand man, his cousin, to go buy the ring because his cousin is like his financial person.
Mm-hmm.
Had to go buy the ring, told him what kind of ring it is. He knew exactly the design I told him about, and here it is.
That
This is
is.
the ring. Shipped from what in Ohio to Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
He shipped it. And he said, before you open up the envelope, because it was a nice size envelope, you know, one of those little open pack envelopes.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm thinking it was something heavy. Well, it was heavy. It was a box. And next thing I know, he put it in a what you call those little those I want to call it a candy rock jewelry little you pop over it's in plastic and it's
Oh
like a little
yeah.
yes, yes. And it was so funny because I'm like, okay. He told me, don't open the envelope yet until you hear my voice.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna open up the envelope. He waited on August the 16th. Now you know August the 16th is my birthday.
That's my daughter's birthday.
He told me, open up the envelope now. I
Mm-hmm.
open up the envelope and what do I see? A ring. And he said, what do you see? And I told him, I see the ring, I see the envelope, I see the letter. He said, good. Now open up the little, I call it the little toy jewelry box.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, would you marry me? I looked at it, I was screaming to the top of my lungs, like, yes, I'll marry you. And he told me just put the ring on, and it fit perfectly.
That is. That
I
is.
was like, yeah. And he told me when we do see each other next year in February, January, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, because I'm gonna be doing my whole year, you know, because we're doing the whole 6 months of therapy, beginning the therapy together.
Mm-hmm.
And he told me once we say I do, you know, he's gonna come here to where I'm at, and we're gonna go ahead and we walk down the aisle and we're gonna move to another city. We're not gonna stay in Chicago.
Okay. Okay.
So we're looking at either the suburbs of Chicago, or we may be looking at Michigan.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. So I'm looking at Michigan right now because Michigan, it ain't Flint. It ain't Flint, but we are looking at probably either Rapids or Great Lakes.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah.
You got some options
Yeah,
there.
I'm excited though. I'm very excited. You know, oh, I just told off my surprise, but that's okay. It's okay. Yeah, I know now. Yes, yeah, I do know now. But it's okay though. But I'm truly happy, you know. But bro, just I wanted to say thank you. Come on my podcast. I really appreciate it. And I will talk to you in the morning on the Michael Caillou show.
I appreciate the time. Enjoy chatting with you. Thank you to everybody
Yeah.
that joined in and took part of our conversation through their ears. And I really appreciate it, Bobby.
Salute to your big brother. And I see you on the Michael Caillou morning show.
Nothing but blessings and best wishes to you, my friend.
All righty then.
All right.